All right, welcome on in. It's a long time. It's a long hiatus. Since we're back here, we're back.
We are
Handicaps
back.
podcast, back in action. Again, little hiatus. Had some stuff going on, but we're back. We're going to be consistent every week. Great time in the summer here. We have golf. We have the U.S. Open this week. We have football coming up in a couple months. We want to get rocking and rolling. We want to get consistent, and we want to get in sync before then. But fellas, it's great to see your faces. It's great to be back on here on the StreamYard. How we doing? Top Beast, Ronnie Overs. How we living?
Everything is good. Just looking forward to getting this thing rolling again. We've taken too much time off. We have a lot to offer, and we're going to spread the word and make it happen here.
Like RK said, too much time off. We're in my opinion, one of the best golf week. I mean, it's not a crazy opinion, but entering one of my favorite golf weeks of the year, the hardest test of the year. I think this will be the hardest U.S. Open since Shinnecock. We'll get into that, but we got a lot of good golf the rest of the year. I'm really excited to really talk golf.
Yeah, so we'll kick it off right. So we'll start it off with golf here. We'll move to NBA. We'll move to some other stuff. Obviously, U.S. Open this week, Oakmont Country Club in Oakmont, PA. Hardest course on the PGA Tour this year. Hardest course probably on the PGA Tour, just given its the rough, the false fronts on the greens, the fast greens. And given looking at the weather, it does look like it's going to be hot there. I'm looking at 80s, low to mid 80s, pretty much mostly cloudy. We'll start right at the top. What are our thoughts on Scotty Scheffler, given his price is about plus 230? Do you fear him if you're looking to go somewhere else on the top of the odds board? Call it maybe Rahm or a Bryson or someone of that like. Are you fearful of Scotty Scheffler? Do you think Scotty Scheffler is going to win this week?
I wouldn't. So I've had these conversations. I mean, obviously, it's kind of what you have to say now. When you take Scotty or the field, maybe you could say Scotty or Rory or the field. I would not, just because it simply comes down to if Scotty's driver is somewhat off, he's not going to win this week. The person who wins this week's driver has to be on. If that is Scotty, then there's zero chance he loses, in my opinion. But when it comes to making actual picks, I feel like we're at the point right now where, from a betting standpoint, if you're going to do it, you either just got to go all in on Scotty to win and not really sprinkle too much else. If you're just going to put something on Scotty and something on a few other people, it really doesn't work with these odds because it is insane. Being under plus 300 is wild. It's almost at Tiger numbers, which I don't think we'd ever thought we'd see. But like I said, it all comes down to the driver. If his driver's in the fairway, he's going to win the tournament. And I don't really think there's a question about it.
I don't think Scotty's going to. I don't think Scotty's going to win. I don't even think he's going to compete. To be honest with you, I think he's the best golfer on the planet. He's by far the number one golfer, but I don't think he's going to have and he's a fighter, but I think I just don't see I don't see him handling the conditions that well. These guys, I never heard PGA players talk about a golf course the way they're talking about this one. Back in the days of Nicholas, he used to say, there was only, you can have a field of 50, 60 golfers, but there are only 10 that really want to win. And in this case, you're going to have only a handful that think they can win, because half of them are writing themselves off already.
Yeah.
So it should be very interesting to see if its conditions are as penal as everyone says it is. But my prediction is Bryson. I think that he's going to hit the ball so far. He'll be in the rough a little bit, but he'll be able to get to the front of the greens better than everyone else can, because he'll be too far back. That's just my prediction.
All agreed on all those Bryson's points. I'll get to him in a little bit. I watched his entire YouTube video that he he played at Oakmont about a week ago. I watched the whole YouTube video. He played all 18, so I kind of saw the whole course. But in terms of going back to the Scotty stuff real quick, last year's U.S. Open at Pinehurst #2. I mean, Scotty says this all the time in terms of unpredictability of lies. He hates that. Pinehurst #2 is a spot where you never know what your lie is going to be. It could be in some weird sand. It could be in some pine straw. You never really know. And he kind of thinks of a course as unfair that way. I completely disagree. I think at this place, I think that's going to be another thing. I mean, just how firm and fast this place is, especially the fairway. There's going to be times where Scotty does hit a perfect drive, but it goes in the rough, and he's going to have to chip out about 120 yards, and he's going to give himself 80 to 100, and he's going to go up and down from par there. So I do not like Scotty this week. I get the price is plus 230. My money's going to be going elsewhere. I mean, you're going to get your Scotty casuals like, Portnoy, who's just gonna, he has the funds to bet on that 230. He's gonna go crazy on that. But I'm laying off Scotty this week. Agreeing with both you guys. A couple.
You have to think. I mean, if you're gonna get on Scotty, it would have to be like on Saturday where he's like plus 500 or plus 600 or something. There's no value at to like under 300.
So just kind of looking at the stats for Oakmont, John, like you said, in terms of hitting fairways, one of the biggest stats is driving accuracy. Because if you do end up, this is also going back to watching the Bryson video, if you do end up driving on a random par 4 or par 5 into the rough, and let's say you're 150 to 180 out, you're not getting it on the green. You're chipping out 100 yards, and you're giving yourself about 80 to 100 yards in. So hitting the fairway is just going to give you that premium of either, all right, we'll set in stone with par or potentially making birdie. Not hitting the fairway here, if you're in the rough, you have no chance of hitting the green unless you make some miraculous shot. It's going to be a pitch out, and that's why I think being filthy within 80 to like 120 yards is going to be paramount this week. To get stuff close. I don't know if you saw the greens, but the false fronts are absolutely crazy. The greens are massive. The greens are absolutely massive. So lag putting is going to be another big thing as well, which is Bryson, probably one of the best in the world in that. So just alluding to your fairway comment, it could not be more spot on.
You guys going to bet on it? Is there what are you going to do? You're going to do fantasy? You're going to, what do you like?
I have four winners I'm taking, but I'll get to that in a sec. Back to what we were saying though, thank God on this podcast we don't have 3 Bryson heads because we got 2.
Well, you got one.
Keep everything a little bit consistent.
You have one.
No,
Bryson
I got you. Both of you are Bryson heads. I stay true to my I stay loyal to my PGA Tour. I will never root for a live golfer for the rest of my life. I will not be rooting for Bryson DeChambeau, but one thing I will say, if one thing that this course is showing is potentially where did Bryson win, which it could be like a Wingfoot 2.0 type of thing, where, like you mentioned too, RK, at some point at Wingfoot, you saw his strategy. The rough didn't bother him because he was hitting it so much further than everyone that his chip outs or his shots that he was getting to the green were like 120 yards, which you can advance to the front of the green and have like a long chip or a very long putt, especially at a back hole location. And if he can utilize that again here, he's going to be really hard to beat. I refuse to take a live Bryson. I refuse to take a live guy. I look at them all the same. I know he's got a whole personality now, but he's going to be hard to beat, and I'm going to be rooting against him. I always, like I said, when I watch Bryson DeChambeau in a major, I root for him to come in second place because when he's in it, it's definitely exciting. You can't deny that, but I don't need to see him win.
Who are you on?
So I was going to say we should all say a winner and a final score, and then we'll post it on the Instagram page. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say my 3 picks that I have. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say my winner and final score right now, and then
We're
gonna
waiting.
go.
We're bracing ourselves.
So right now, wait, I gotta pull it up. So I'm doing something this time. I don't know if this is kind of sacrilegious to the point of the podcast, but in DraftKings, professional tip to anyone listening to this, I took winner without Rory, Bryson, Rom, and Scotty for these guys. The odds are not that different. My winner I'm taking is Shane Lowry at plus 2,500 with that number without those four guys.
Really?
Shane Lowry, I feel like he's been in a lot of tournaments this year. His problem is just, and I know when it comes down to it, his problem has been Sundays, it seems like. Or Saturday. One day in the weekend is where he falls apart. I think if he can keep the first two rounds together, he's going to be in it. I really think Shane Lowry is going to be in it. I think he's going to be hitting fairways. He's usually a pretty consistent driver from what I've been seeing this year. And I really like Shane. I think he's got a great short game. He's got great hands, especially out of the rough around the greens. And that's my guy. Shane Lowry is my official pick. Shane Lowry to finish at even par.
You think the winning score is going to be even?
Even par is my prediction. Shane Lowry.
Ronnie overs. I know you mentioned Bryson, but any other players?
Bryson's my guy. I'm going to go. My bet is going to be. I'm going to take these three guys to finish in the top 40 parlayed. Aberg, Straka, and Berger.
What money? What kind of odds does that land you? Plus 100.
So this is top 40 plus 234.
Wow, it's really good.
Pretty good return, don't you think?
Wait, hold on. What is I didn't even check the
over. Yeah, what are you taking any winners? Or no, not yet.
No, I have a I just have a winner. I have a fantasy team that I'm entering in a private pool. But other than that, I got that's gonna be my bet right off the bat, and then I'll probably take similar type bets after the cut.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna put a nice. I like this three man play, and I think I gotta think the score will be. I think we might see the first U.S. Open in a long time over par.
It happened in 2018 at Shinnecock with Brooks. He shot +1.
I'm hoping it's going to be over par. They can, there was a good interview with the head pro at the club, and they're just obsessed with making it as hard as possible. The members play a course that's not too, except for the rough. And the speed of the greens is not too far off that they play every day. I mean, it was a great interview. The guy he's an older guy. When he was young, he was like a top 20 finisher. I think maybe the U.S. Open that was played there probably 20 or 30 years ago, and they were showing a picture of him, maybe even 40 years ago. But it was really good, and he he's expecting. They want to make it brutal. So it's pretty cool.
What's your official prediction for the number?
+2.
Yeah, I was around there as well. I'm +3. I think I texted it to you guys earlier, maybe this weekend. I said it's a lot about the weather this week. If it's wet, if it's cold, if it's soft, I think the winner would be 5 under. If it's dry, fast, and firm, I think the winner would be anywhere from +3 to +5. So I'm going to go +4 as the winner. My winner is Bryson, and my two other picks are Patrick Cantlay at 50 to 1 and Tommy Fleetwood, I think, was around 30 to 1 as well. A lot of these times in U.S. Opens, I mean, Cantlay's history has been unbelievable. Last year he was great. Year before that, I think he finished like T10 at the Country Club in Boston. Prior to that, at Torrey Pines, he finished T15. So Cantlay is his approach game has been absolutely stellar as of late. Dude hits fairways. I just think he's due for that win, and I'm a big Cantlay guy. And see a number at 50 on Cantlay, he's usually in that 20 to 30 realm. I couldn't pass up on that. JK, I also meant to mention to you.
What do you think? You think he's going to wear a hat or no hat?
No, only no hat in the Ryder Cup.
Okay, good.
JK,
what's up?
Ludwig, I know he's sometimes your guy. 31.
Yeah, so I have
long for him.
I have 3 others that I'm playing as well. I'm playing Oberg. That's at plus 1600. I have the without Rory, Scotty.
You know you're 50% by taking those 3 guys out. I mean, Rory's already cooked.
That's okay.
There's 0% chance he wins.
That's okay with me though. I have Cam Young also without them at plus 6,000. And then, you know why I like what Cam Young, the way he handled that whole thing last week after he flushed that 3-wood, and he said he knew his game was on. What's up?
You're giving a lot away of Cam Young. He's plus 15,000 with those guys.
All right,
just telling you. Just want to make
that's okay. And
then want you to spend your money wisely, John.
You know what? If Scotty wins and Cam Young comes in second, I'll have a lot to say to you next week. And then obviously you'll get my weekly pick. No one's surprised by my last pick. This was made a few days ago. My boy Justin Thomas at plus 4,500. That's just straight up on the field. So if you listen to the show, you know I'm a huge Justin Thomas guy. By far my favorite golfer. The one thing I will say about Justin Thomas in this tournament, he is not a good U.S. Open player. I'll tell you that. But Jacob, what you alluded to about how you think if you're not hitting fairways, that 80 to 100 yard range is super important. I will say if there's one thing that he thrives in, it's that.
Who do you have, Jakey?
I think Bryson's going to win, and then my other 2 guys are Fleetwood and
at what?
So the Fleetwood number is at 35, and then Cantlay's at 55 now. He keeps longer, but I don't know why. I just love Cantlay. US Open. You know, he seems to like me on Twitter a good amount, so I got to ride with my guy.
Can we go one guy, one long shot?
Yes,
you do a
long shot.
Who do you like?
So I'm between a couple guys. The first one's at Matt Fitzpatrick at 120 to 1. I think he's kind of been playing well. He's had a couple good starts. He played pretty well at Philly Cricket Club, which is a good comp of this track.
What's his odds?
120 to 1. U.S. Open winner. He won at Brookline Country Club. So I think that's a good price on him. And then, getting into like this 25, it gets a little long. I want to speak upon the D1 Division.
Yeah, what's your long shot?
I don't know if you guys call it a long shot, but a number of they say he's a great fast green putter is Grazerman. I don't know if you call that a long shot though. I think
what's the number?
25,000.
45,000.
25,000.
That's a long shot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's my guy, Jersey guy.
JK, who's your long shot?
Plus, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to go with Jason Day.
I like that. He's been injured a little bit, but I think he's pretty healthy now. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a neck or something. I was tracking him a couple of months ago. It's not about as well.
See what he was wearing for the
practice USA pants.
I saw that. I saw that. And
trying to get on the Ryder Cup. Trying to make the U.S. Ryder Cup team.
I know we're getting into around 20 to 25 minutes here on the U.S. Open. I know we can move on to different things, but I think it's a really good preview start. Just 2 guys real quick. If you're playing like a DraftKings, if you're trying to get a lineup going and you want to look for some cheap guys, maybe in the $5,000 range, two guys that I have. The first one is Matt McCarty.
Matt McCarty.
The Black Desert. He's beautiful from the that. And my other guy is Mike. A little bit. He won this past like 2 weeks ago the Division I championship. Bro has a beautiful swing. It's kind of like an unorthodox swing where he kind of jams it. Big kid. I like some of these young guns at the cheap prices. So McCarty and Lasasso if you're in the DraftKings space playing fantasy. So those are two guys who I'm leaning towards. Okay. Do we want to anything else on the US Open, JK, RK?
We're good. Let's go, baby.
I think we're good. I had one
right.
more thing, a bet that I'm not going to take, but I think is an absolute lock because you can't take it with the juice, in my opinion. If you like taking a minus 200 bet, Phil Mickelson to miss the cut. I'm not going to take it,
like that,
but that's intriguing. If you want to parlay that with something,
yeah,
I think that's a
good
parlay piece.
Yeah. Okay. U.S. Open's going to be great. Hard course. Hopefully we see over par. So very, very excited for that. We'll get the pics on the Instagram. We'll get the pics on the TikTok, etc. Switching gears a little bit. NBA Finals Game 3 is tomorrow in Indiana. If you didn't see Game 1, well, I'm sure everybody watching this podcast did see Game 1. Pacers comeback, unbelievable comeback. Tyrese Halliburton pull-up jumper with 0.3 remaining to win by 1. Game 2, obviously Thunder complete blowout. What is your guys' forward-looking prediction for the rest of the series? Do you think OKC grabs 2 in Indy? I mean, just watching the last game, the defense, it's just the Pacers are going to run out of this magical comeback run or whatever they have. My opinion, I think they'll Thunder lose another game in the series. What do you guys think?
I think
I'm with you on
4-1. I don't. Yep. I think we're all. I don't see Thunder losing another game. It's just they're too much, in my opinion. I mean, I don't really have an explanation for it. I think the Pacers' voodoo magic is run out, and I think the Thunder are too much, especially their star power. I mean, Shea is his mid range is unbelievable. The game moves at his pace. Jalen Williams, I know he hasn't even been playing like Jalen Williams, and he's still just kind of getting what he wants randomly in like a third quarter. Chet turned it on a little bit last game. Hartenstein's big on the glass.
He's not starting, but he's still putting up numbers.
Yeah, I mean,
you can still get some action with those guys.
Caruso is the guy.
Unbelievable how good Caruso's playing.
He is just an X factor.
Yeah, no, he's.
By the way, I know,
really good.
What was that, Jacob?
I know he had that. I know he had that conversation in regards to those players. I know Caruso, Pritchard, and I think
you're breaking up a little bit, Jacob.
Let's throw you guys a little bit.
I didn't hear you said you were breaking up a little bit right there, Jacob. Or is it me?
No, it's Jacob. He's frozen.
Yeah, it's Jacob.
So we'll keep it rolling here. I'm going to tell you guys if you like to bet on players, which is what I like to do, you have points, rebounds, and assists. I'll tell you a couple guys that are almost, I don't want to say, they've been hitting their numbers on a real regular basis. The Shea,
yep,
Siakam, those two.
And Siakam, those are your guys.
Ooh, here we go.
Do you just take them straight up or just alternate parlays? Both.
But
there's some weird lag.
Go ahead, Dad. Keep going.
Somewhere's in the middle. I like but I always parlay with a couple different combinations, and the other guys I like throwing in there is is Chet and Hartenstein. And but Hartenstein got to be careful because he's not starting. But what Siakam has been doing has been ridiculous. I think he's been hitting his number. He's got to be without any alternate, probably points, rebounds, and assists. He's got to be hitting it 80% plus through the playoffs every
Type of
game.
guy. He looks for the rack. He takes it. He
Plays
doesn't.
the hardest. He's good.
He plays his heart
And
out.
very consistent and gets a lot of minutes. But that's all I've been playing with this series is points, rebounds, and assist parlays, and I'd have to say it's pretty good. But those are the guys I'm focused on. Jacob, you with us? Back?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No,
You're
something's
back.
going on.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah, I do hear you.
I'll
I
edit
just
that
want
out.
I want the Knicks. I mean, I want the Knicks. I want the
We know you want the Knicks. The Knicks are done.
I want the
Dude.
Thunder. I want the Thunder to put this team to bed. I don't even want it to be a question. I'm riding a little bit of a. I mean, it's not the greatest bet. It's about even odds. I have the Thunder minus 1.5 games, so that's like Thunder to win in 4, 5, or 6. Obviously now 5 or 6 parlayed with Alcaraz. So got the first piece of that.
Wow.
And
That match is something.
that was great. But yep, I'm just kind of pulling for the Thunder right now for that.
Yeah, so game 3 tomorrow in Indy, like we said, Thunder most likely going to be 4-1 here. RK, I know you have that future on them that you made at the sports book, so that's looking pretty good. And that's
you think there's going to like when you think of a finals move, the coach of OKC, he changed the starting lineup. He took out Hartenstein. He was starting pretty much all year. It's a pretty good, pretty interesting move. What you think Indiana is going to do anything different? I'm thinking maybe they'll put in Caitlin Clark or something like that. No, seriously, who do you think what are they going to do? He's a good coach. He's a freaky guy. I don't like him, but they have a good coach. You think they're going to do anything different?
I don't think there's anything you can do different on that for that starting lineup, in my opinion.
just looking at the bench. I mean, who more would you play Obi more? Like Obi's not great, can't really shoot that well. Good transition guy, but no, I think it's their 5. I think Nembhard Nembhard's probably my favorite player on the floor. I love Nembhard. I think he's unbelievable. What he did in 1-2.
Who's been putting up good numbers is McConnell, like based on his minutes.
Yeah,
the guy, he's
hurting.
He's been playing really good.
That was the other guy.
Yeah,
Richard, McConnell, and Caruso. Those were the 3 guys that we were talking about.
But if Shea takes over, I think it's gonna be really hard for OKC to lose.
He's not even really doing the foul. He's not even doing the foul baiting. So right now in the series at all,
I mean,
he's
getting
his.
He still gets to the line a lot.
They're not. The Pacers aren't. The Pacers aren't that good of a defensive team. They got pretty lucky in the first game. I mean, no, they're not lucky. The Thunder just poor execution. But there's a lot of luck on the Pacers side, so you never know what's going to happen. But still stand on Thunder in 5.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't agree more. All right, that's the NBA there. Like I mentioned.
Wait, who do you guys think is going to be the Knicks head coach?
Oh, that's another topic.
Knicks head coach.
So it's not going to be Jay Wright. I want Mike Malone, but I don't know if that's likely.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Johnny.
If Dallas allows Jason Kidd to leave, it's going to be Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
It's up to Dallas. If Dallas says you can't take him, then they can't take him because he's under contract. If Dallas says you can take him, but you got to give us something for him, he's going to be the next coach. It's really up to Dallas, though. The Knicks can't steal him without an agreement from Dallas. That's the way I understand it works. But you hear Mark Jackson's name mentioned. I doubt that's a major long shot, but he could be interesting. But it seems like Jason Kidd's the favorite. You think Malone?
I like Malone.
Okay. And then then the Knicks apparently are making a big play for the Greek Freak. We'll see
Yeah,
if you think I mean, I would love to get rid of Towns and bring in a guy like that. You guys know I'm not a big Towns guy, but
Not the
I
smartest.
think I might be in a minority. I think it was a smart move to get rid of Tibbs. They weren't going to win a championship with Tibbs.
But yeah, but like, see, like, why? Like, what is Tibbs not a championship winning coach? Like, everyone keeps saying, like, yo, they were going to win one with him. Like, what's the reason behind that?
They
I'm
should. I
trying to
mean,
think.
they should have been in the finals this year. I mean, when you blow the kind of when you blow the lead that he blew, that's coaching. You got to be able to
totally.
be able to get control of that. I mean, that you can't lose that game one. That
So they
that that
lost
was
that game.
that was like a gift.
Yeah, very hard to come back after that. But hey, I mean, they need a star at the end of the day. And that's what it takes. Or you need a star, or you need a deep team of 11 guys. The Pacers have the deep team of 11 guys. The Thunder have a deep team of 11 guys and a star. So that's how hard they are to beat, in my
Yep.
opinion.
Listen, I mean, maybe that's
I
what
think we
the
would have. Go ahead.
I've said no. Maybe that's what the NBA is now. It's maybe not so much. Oh, let's get three absolute stars. Let's build a solid foundation. Let's get draft picks. Let's build 7 or 8 really really solid guys with maybe 2 or 3 who are cusps of all stars. Maybe not the best all stars, but all stars of that year. So I mean, it's pretty evident with the Thunder and Pacers this year. So that might be the new swing in the NBA. That's what I think. Just kind of looking at the teams. But yeah, hopeful for the Knicks. I mean, they're on their way to a championship. There was a really fun year for the Knicks. Tibbs out. Hopefully, we get someone in good and make a championship run next year. So we'll see. We'll see in terms of that. Anything else in terms of basketball, Knicks coaching, Dad? Any coaching? Any
Nope. Well,
management that you want to
you
take
see a
note?
lot. You see a lot of a lot of coaching mistakes. A lot of over coaching. I felt that you know Tibbs. I think Tibbs did a poor job. I think that you look back in the series. I think Denver had a fighting chance against OKC, but their coach they basically were playing with no coach. You need a coach. OKC's coach is pretty good. I don't really know much about him, but he seems to have it together, and he's confident even when he makes a little mistake, like when he fouled with the whole 3 point up three, and you foul, and he just he stood by it. He dealt with the criticism. He seems to be a pretty good coach, and he's very well liked by his young players. And that team is really together. Everyone likes to say this is the worst version that you're going to see of OKC in the next 5 years. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Listen to part of my take a lot, then.
Nah, I hear it otherwise. What is part of my take? I never heard of such a podcast. Come on.
Have they heard of us? Is the question. No, Jacob. Something pretty cool that actually, when Caruso was on part of my take, something cool that they talked about was that the coach of OKC, Dagnall. How do you say his name? Dagnall.
Diagonal, whatever.
He coached Caruso in the G League.
Oh, I did see that.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
That was.
Caruso might be older than him.
Maybe.
No,
I'm kidding. He's only
He's playing.
30.
He's playing on just out of his mind.
Yeah, he's
he
a
also
real good.
doesn't miss. He's a great shooter.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. Plays
Smart.
hard, plays defense, plays hard as anybody on the court.
And he guards the biggest guys.
Yeah.
How do you like Halliburton, Dad?
I don't like him. He's not for me. He's like a he's a cocky guy. He's like a Curry wannabe, Reggie wannabe. By the way, there was a great video online. I don't know if you like the fact. Here's what you want. You want to talk about something? The fact that Reggie Miller was allowed to call any of those Nick Pacer games was a joke.
Oh,
He never
was
should have, he never
nauseating.
should have been allowed to call. And then they had a video of him watching the end of the Pacer OKC game when
Yeah.
Halliburton made that game-winning shot. He's dancing around with his family like a little baby that he is. I mean, I can't stand that guy, and I can't stand Halliburton neither. I'm sure his father's a fine man, but that guy's he's a little off too. But not my kind of guy, Halliburton. I'm trying to think. I like Siakam. If there's a guy I love on the Pacers, that's a hardworking guy. He does his job. Doesn't he's not a flashy guy. That's who I like.
You like Chet?
Only thing I like about Chet is I like betting him, but I never really thought I liked him too much. He's slowly turning on me. It's hard to root for a guy that played in what's that, Southwest Conference?
Gonzaga.
I mean, I can't root for anyone from Gonzaga, but this is a soft conference, soft team. Even though they get good results, but they play nobody all year. But yeah, Chet's okay. I like also on OKC. How many ex-Knicks do they have? Just one, or they have two?
Hartenstein, or just Hartenstein.
Hartenstein, he's the only one, right? I love Hartenstein. He plays hard. He's a great passer. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that.
Great.
Unbelievable. It seems like he doesn't play much, though.
No, well, he's not starting now. He's only playing he's playing less than 22 minutes a game, but he still puts up numbers.
Wallace should be starting.
That's what they do. I guess he's a better player, but I like when they play Chet and him.
I agree.
That's a
they
pretty
should play them more.
Lethal combo.
I agree.
Yeah, but it's if Indiana wins a couple games, we're gonna look like we have that. We don't know what we're talking about, but I think our group prediction of 4-1 is pretty close. There's that one who's a celebrity that made $1 million bet on them to win 4-1, and it was going to pay about $3.5 million. Jay-Z, I think. Jay-Z made that.
Really?
Pre-finals. I think it was Jay-Z.
Wow. If he can get to, I mean, I don't know if Jay-Z's probably doesn't need to hedge anything with the money he has. But if he can win these two in Indiana, I mean, that's a heavy, great hedge opportunity right there.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Because it'll be like plus like 10 or 11. But yeah, also wanted to mention, are we done with the NBA?
Free form.
So wanted to bring up, I know something was mentioned. We got three of us. We're playing a little Father's Day golf tournament over the weekend, and I'm honored to be on this podcast with the defending champs. Every year we do a little father-son tournament. Me and RK have a little team, and he has one with Jacob. And last year, the defending champs, RK and Jay-Z. Jay-Z with that. What's the handicap at now, Jacob?
We'll call it a 17.
17. All right. A few better than last year. Last year Jacob played the round of his life.
Yeah.
And was getting a lot of shots and pretty unbeatable. I've never seen him play that well in my life. Let's see if you can follow it up.
I'm highly confident. I'm most likely going to play better than last year. I mean, we shot sub 60. I think we shot 58. No one really came close to us. A lot of people were, a little thinking I'm giving the wrong handicap. But listen, I don't keep a handicap. Some days I have great days. Some days I have awful days. We gave the guy, I think, a 20. I mean, listen, if I play lights out, you're going to get cooked. So I don't keep a handicap. I'm probably going to play better than last year. So I'm very, very excited. It's time to go low. But yeah, looking forward to Sunday. Is going to be a great day. But just the last thing I wanted to touch on was that tennis match. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, I think it was Andy Roddick was giving some comments on that match, saying that tennis players are the like the best athletes in the world. He's saying, 5 hours and 20 whatever minutes it was, just straight back and forth, crazy conditioning. Saying basketball is 48 minutes with breaks and timeouts. Curious to see what you guys think about that. I mean, I particularly don't really agree with it too much. Given I don't think best conditioning equals best athlete. But it got a lot of views, a clip by Andy Roddick. So I wanted to see what you guys think about that.
John, go ahead.
I think it was. I think it's one of the most impressive. First off, about the match, I think, and we all watch a lot of sports. I think I can probably call myself like the most versatile sports watcher, and I'm in different kind of sports I'm into. You guys would probably disagree with me on this, but in recent time, I think the three greatest sporting events that I've seen, I would say the World Cup final with Messi versus Mbappe, Tiger winning the 2019 Masters, and this tennis match. I think these three events are the best games games, whatever you want to call it, I've seen in recent time. That was an instant classic. I mean, to be down 40-0 with set point and save three of them, it's absolutely sick what these guys are doing, and no one thought that you'd get like a Djokovic, Nadal, Federer again. These guys are going to get there. And
These two guys.
These two guys, they're unbelievable. The shot making is just it's unbelievable. And somebody said as well, tennis is the only sport that you don't know like how long a game is really going to go. I mean, if you want to call it baseball is not really taxing on your body. Golf, you kind of know it's going to be like a 4.5, 5 hour round. You play 18 holes. Basketball, 48-minute game. Football, 60-minute game. Hockey, 60-minute game. A fight, like how long it can go unless you get a knockout. Tennis, it can go an hour and a half. It can go 6 hours. And you never know what you have to be prepared for. And that's what I think was most impressive, is especially Carlos elevating his game to the highest point when it mattered most. Even Sinner, he could have easily melted in that last set, and what he did was crazy. So I think tennis is some kind of conditioning unlike any other when it comes to that standpoint. But those two are inevitable.
Yeah,
that was a great match. I was a little more focused on the women's. As you guys know, I'm a huge Sabalenka fan, and
biggest Sabalenka fan ever.
I have I had some nice hedges because I had her to win it all pre-tournament, mostly between plus 300 and plus 350, a number of bets. So I had some good hedges, but I got a little greedy. I should have hedged a little more, but it wasn't too bad. But I already started betting on her to win Wimbledon.
I was just about to ask you that. So you're
going to be hungry.
It's about plus 350.
Is Coco the favorite?
No, Coco's like plus 650 or 700. Believe me, if you follow at all women's tennis, which I do, what Sabalenka did by 70 unforced errors and Coco winning 55% of her second serves against someone like Sabalenka, and a bad server that Coco, she's probably my second favorite. Coco, I root for her, but not in that match. She got very lucky, and I know that a lot was said about Sabalenka's comments, but she was just speaking from the heart like she always does. She's
yeah.
I like the way she rolls. But congratulations to Coco. You did. She won the match. I don't know what was going on with the conditions. Maybe they should have closed their roof. Who knows? But they both played under the same conditions. No different than the golf match, under the same conditions.
Boy.
So that's it. All right.
Cool. Yeah. We hit on a lot here, coming in on 45 minutes. I think this was great. Like I mentioned, back every week. The days might vary just given different events going on. We might want to hit a podcast before the game, might want to do a quick recap on something. I'm sure we're going to have a really nice recap probably next Monday to talk all things U.S. Open. But yeah, we're back. We're back. Like I mentioned, summer. We got a lot of good stuff going on. We're going to make our way right into the NFL season where it's going to be some good pods produced. But hey, this was a great first one back. It's good to get back online with you folks, and I'm excited for the future weeks to come.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, guys, take it easy. Peace.
Go. Bye.